Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. So today we're going to talk about 7.1.5, the patch notes here, and what we are going to get live, and what we have live probably for a lot of you guys right now. Me, I'm still waiting for the game to go live, so I'm just kind of itching to get back in there. But we're going to go over the Havoc changes. So I really like a lot of these changes, and I'm very excited to play my Demon Hunter. So for Nighthold, we will be, the very first couple times we're going to be clearing, I will be on my Beast Mastery Hunter because we do need ranged. But after we get the content more on farm, my Demon Hunter gets to jump back in. So I can't wait. I'll be raiding with some pug groups. I'll be raiding with my Demon Hunter the first week Night holds out, but you know, I can't wait to get my hunter back in with my regular group. But sacrifices were made. Beast Mastery will be awesome too, though. That said, let's go ahead and get into all the changes and what I expect to happen with these changes. So the first thing you see is the damage done by most Havoc spells have been increased by 10%. That looks good on paper, but we have to remember our crit did get nerfed by, 5%. Secondary stats have been changed, so this is most likely a compensation for the changes, so you're not doing less DPS, because if everybody got on and did less DPS, everybody would be very upset, right? So when you look at all the specs, if you read every spec right now, most classes, almost all of them, are doing more damage. Their damage has been increased because they're trying to even out that. They don't want you doing less DPS because it's going to feel bad, right? And they're going to get upset. So they're trying to compensate with that. So that 10% buff is going to be cool, but it's more of a compensation. So, but still good. Still good. Alright, second one. So, when you're in demon form, your chaos strike damage has been slightly increased. So, slightly increased. They didn't give us a percent. What that means is it's probably just by a little bit, but every little bit helps. Because when we're in demon form, that is our giant opportunity to do the absolute most DPS that we can. So, you tend to see demon hunters start a fight and just explode with DPS. You know, their openers are just amazing, and it's because demon form. So, and if you have a bad opener, you're going to be low most of the fight, right? There's going to be times where you can cleave and stuff like that, and I-beam some stuff and get it back up, but overall, you know, if you have a bad demon form, your numbers aren't going to be as good, just what it is. So, cool to see that. Blind Fury I do not use, and I do not intend to use. I know there have been some demon form builds and stuff like that, but I unfortunately do not use it, so that doesn't make a difference to me. Here's the big one. Chaos Cleave now hits all nearby targets, including the original target, for 10% of the damage that it inflicts, right? So that kind of reads weird, right? Chaos Cleave now hits all nearby enemies, including the original target, for 10% of the damage it inflicts. Now, what that means is Chaos Cleave hits all targets for, like, it hits all targets for, like, whatever you hit. It was, like, 100%, I think. And, or was it 50%? I'm not sure. I wish they gave a number, but the way it reads, it sounds like it hits all nearby enemies, which means like it's 100%, right? And it could be 100%, including the original target for an extra 10%. So what you're doing is you're buffing your Chaos Strike by 10% with this spell. What that means is this is going to be the new go-to move. And I believe this spell is on the Bloodlet spell, or Bloodlet talent tree, you know, your selection. So this is going to be an auto include, because this is just really, really powerful. Unless maybe you have the wrists that give your Throwglaive a little bit extra, but momentum and I don't know, it's kind of getting moved out. So this is going to be a very interesting pick. So I can expect that this is going to be an auto pick for most of you guys, and I can't wait to try it out, to test it out. So that's going to be amazing. Our AoE is going to go up too, so that's going to be crazy to see. Everybody complains about that, but we'll see what happens. All right, Demon Blaze proc chance reduced. Whatever. We don't talk about nerfs. We'll just leave them how they are. Next one, I probably not going to use that either. Demonic now last demon form build stuff, you know. Okay. Let's go right to the Fell Barrage one. Alright, Fell Barrage damage increased by 20%. Okay, now this is going to be cool. But I don't think it's going to be used. AoE situations probably. But that's an interesting one. It's a good buff though. I really like the spell. It works really well. I haven't used it for a long time, but it is a very powerful spell. And it's actually, I like it, so that's a good one. Fell Eruption damage increased by 30%. That's a good one too. So I was using this spell for a very long time because I feel it's very powerful. And it was like, I wasn't even geared, and it was critting like 1,000,000 on bosses. So to increase it by 30%, I really want to try it out just to play with it and see if it would fit, but it definitely will not, because I believe it's in the Nemesis category, so Nemesis and Momentum, so that's obviously not going to be a choice, but it's cool to see that they actually buff that. Alright, Fellblade's cooldown resets 50% more often from demon bites. Wow. That's pretty incredible. That thing resets a lot. That's pretty impressive. That's really impressive. Fellblades, I think, is going to be the big pick, in my opinion. It's going to be a really good spot, so I can't wait to play with that talent today. That's going to be really good. Alright, let's go to First Blood bonus damage increased. I still don't think it's going to be used, but that is a very big buff. It's 100% buff, right? Well, not 100% buff. It is 100%, but not from 100% when it was. Get all technical. But it's a really good buff on that spell. Be fun to play with. Mastery, here's the big one. Here's a game changer in my opinion, and a lot of people didn't agree, but I think it's going to be a lot bigger than people think. So our Mastery is actually going to increase our chaos damage by 11.2%, was 8%. That's going to be a big one. And the fact that they did do all the changing is going to kind of equal that, you know. But the more Mastery we're going to get, the way higher Mastery is going to be needed. So there's been some discussions on stat priority, and stat priority right now in 7.1.5 should be crit Mastery. And then once you get, I believe it's your forcep bonus, it's going to be Mastery and crit are going to be equal. And Mastery might be a little bit ahead of crit, which is crazy, right? But we do get a 10% free crit on our Chaos Strikes, and that's one of our biggest spells, right? That's the spell we use the most. So that's going to be interesting to see there too. Interesting. Very interesting. Nemesis damage bonus increased to 25%. Now this is weird, right? What is better, Nemesis or Momentum? That's going to be interesting. I think Nemesis is going to pull out ahead slightly. But I think well-managed momentum is going to be amazing. Still, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see where it goes and what your gameplay is. Originally, we were supposed to keep up momentum up around 60% of the time, correct? And with Nemesis, it's up like, 50% of the time with just clicking one button. So it makes it way easier, but we have to remember, when you are using this spell, when you are using momentum, you get to pick when you want that big burst, right? You get to pick when you get that 25%. Nemesis, maybe you have to run out of something and you still have that 25% buff. So it's just a flat minute and then non-minute and then a minute and then a non-minute, or whatever it is, like a 2-minute cooldown, a minute buff, something like that. And that's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens. Another walking. So that's pretty much the changes. There are a lot of changes that actually didn't make it into here, and I'm assuming that they still have the changes. They just didn't want to tell nobody. So they're like, all right, let's just keep these out, right? Let's not tell anybody that we did this. So some things that were changed aren't in here, but overall it looks pretty good. I'm excited. So this is going to be fun to sit down and play with and learn the class over again and see what's going on. So unfortunately, it doesn't go up for another hour for me, and most of us understand when Blizzard does an update like this. Usually it says it's going to be up at this time, and then it pushes back another hour, and then another hour, and then another hour. So just to make sure everything's correct and right. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys. I'm sure there's some information I got wrong. I'm sure there's some information that I misread. I just woke up. Still a little bit tired, so I just kind of went off of what I read. Don't even have my glasses on right now, so I probably read some stuff incorrectly. It happens. It's YouTube. All right, guys. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, do whatever you need to do, and I'll talk to you soon.